Christopher Peterson, and you're listening to the Nerd EXP Gamecast. I'm hanging out with Zack.
What's up, guys?
Kenny.
How you doing?
And Alex.
Hello.
What do we do here? Well, we talk about video game news. And the point of this, to start a conversation and help you level up your game IQ. Second episode, just full disclosure, I know there's some people had some issues with audio. Hopefully, we'll learn from our mistakes and, kind of won't have that going forward. As always on Gamecast, readers come first. And I got 2 questions in this time. If you want your question to be on air, feel free to just contact any of us. Just like that guy in line did on Twitter. He said, what is your favorite cheat in a game? For me, I have to go with like the old Konami code on Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles games.
That's always a good one.
There is no way I think I would have been able to beat that with the bare lives. So that was definitely useful, level skipping, just going over some of the more tiresome sections. So, I think that one will always kind of have a special place in my heart.
Yeah, man, I can't really think of any. Not to brag, but I never really played with cheats or anything, so.
What about a Game Genie or anything like that? Did you guys ever play around with those?
I think I had like the one on PlayStation, the Game Shark or whatever it was called, but I could never figure out how to get it to work.
I just felt guilty when I used it.
I sure used one, for Game Boy Color specifically, and a little of Action Replay on the GBA and the DS.
Oh my god, I forgot about that. I was really heavy into Pokemon, and that was a must for like cloning and trading and whatnot. So, any other cheats that jump out to you guys?
Well, I always enjoy a good big head mode, but for me, my favorite cheat has to be Missing No from Pokemon Red and Blue.
I was going to say that, but I was like, no, it's a glitch. They're going to call me out on it.
I was kind of thinking that too.
I think it's fair game for this discussion.
Yeah.
All right. Another question we got from Twitter was from I am Bill McNeil. He says, will Mortal Kombat 10 revitalize fighting games? Or Mortal Kombat X, depending on who's saying it.
Well, speaking as somebody who doesn't play fighting games, I have no idea.
I only really play fighting games if I know the characters, or if it's Soul Calibur. That's like the only one that's like I'll play, like just for the gameplay, really.
I almost want to say like I'm not to pick on Bill, but I don't even know if this question is valid. Like Evo is getting bigger and bigger each year. I feel like Street Fighter is still very much part of our lives. Super Smash Bros. Is the most popular game on Wii U.
Yep.
If not by sales numbers, at least just like fan reception.
Yeah, I don't know if Street Fighter 5 Mortal Kombat X will revive fighting games, because I thought Street Fighter 4 already did that.
And it's 12 sequels, hyper, ultra, super, mega, final.
Yeah, pretty much.
So I guess to answer Bill's question, no, it will not, because it doesn't need to be revitalized. That does bring us to a good segue for PlayStation news. And if anybody out there, if you guys, I don't have the prowess, wants to create some wackadoo bumpers or jingles.
I had a Freudian slip, which is a good segue.
For PlayStation news, Street Fighter V was announced previously. It is going to be a PS4 and PC exclusive, and they kind of released the announcement that it's coming out next year.
I think it's cool that it's an exclusive. Because wasn't the 4th one also on Xbox?
I wasn't aware that there'd be a history quiz portion of this game.
Oh. Sorry, guys.
I don't remember either way. Oh, like, are you saying also on Xbox? Yeah. Yeah, it definitely wasn't exclusive.
Yeah.
So, I just wonder how much money Sony had to pay, or if this is just Japan getting together and fighting America, because, I mean, they're both Japanese companies.
Yeah.
I'm sure they paid them. Sure some money went there.
I mean, it's just Street Fighter V, kind of how we hinted before, like, these games are definitely reiterated on all the time. So I wonder what that means for Super Street Fighter V. Is it fair game to go to every console? Which that was more of a rhetorical question. I don't think that we're in a position to answer that. Moving on, PS4 firmware 2.5 is officially announced. I don't anticipate going over firmware updates all the time on the show.
What's so special about this one?
But this one's slightly more important because of the suspend resume feature.
Yes.
A lot of excitement. This was originally announced before the console even launched. It's a feature on the Vita, and it basically means like you can turn your console off and then come back and just pick up right where you left off.
Yeah, that's awesome. Because I don't think anybody likes to actually sit there and wait for their system to boot up and hear that little noise, and this is much more convenient.
I do like that noise. Just, I don't know, I guess it just makes me happy.
The beep?
Yes.
Like microwave beep that comes from your PS3, PS4?
Well, I was thinking more about that little tune it plays as it's starting up.
Well,
Does PS4 have a tune?
I got the 20th anniversary theme, so it plays the original PlayStation loading music as part of it, like when it comes on.
Oh. Okay, then I guess it's not that bad.
But I think you're right, Zach. Like, this is a huge feature, especially because, as we get older, we have less time to game, and sitting through those logos each time is exhausting. Especially if there's 5 or 6 developers. Like, I know you made the game. I know you're really proud of it.
Oh, some games are just the worst about that. You just never want to play them again.
I definitely remember some old LucasArts games. It'd be kind of cool the first time you look at it, but seeing that guy bust out a lightsaber and do a couple maneuvers before going back to his logo position would get kind of annoying the 6th or 7th time.
Yep, I totally agree with that.
All right, moving on, we also have no surprising news, but Uncharted 4 is delayed till spring.
It breaks my heart. I mean, it's a good idea. I mean, I understand why they're doing it, but that was the game I was most looking forward to this year. So now that it's gone, there's a little part inside of me that just wants to curl up in a corner and cry.
Yeah, I'm pretty sad it's getting delayed too, but I guess it's better delayed than rushed, for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, didn't Shigeru Miyamoto say a good game is good forever? A delayed game is good forever. A not delayed game is bad forever.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think so.
I don't remember the exact quote, but you're pretty close. I definitely agree, and I want to say that this is a good faith delay, but I do feel sometimes if and not necessarily the guys coding and working on Uncharted. I don't necessarily say Naughty Dog, but somebody, marketing, shareholders, presidents, they throw out these dates with very little intention of actually hitting them, just to keep the news buzz or keep somebody happy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I know a lot goes into development for games, and I'm not saying it's easy. I couldn't even get a Google Hangout to work 20 minutes ago. But I don't know, movies are able to toss a dart 5 years in the future and hit it. and maybe they've had more time. Maybe there's less that goes into that, or they give themselves more padding. I can't believe that gaming is still 20 years and we're still constantly guessing and pushing back these releases. Sometimes if like more than a full year from its original date.
Yeah, I mean, I'm trying to look at this from a positive perspective because, I mean, also it was a Naughty Dog game, but like you look at The Last of Us, didn't that get pushed back a whole year also?
Yeah, because it released around like E3, which is a really odd time.
Yeah, but I remember everybody was super excited for that, and then it got pushed back a year, and everybody was all angry, and they were all like, "This isn't right," and everything like that. And then everybody just felt like there's posts online, and people were talking about how Naughty Dog like backpedaled and how they were promising it this release date and everything. But I think the fact that they actually took that time to focus on it and everything made it a better game.
You know what this delay means, though, right? They can put out an HD re-release of the first 3 games.
Which I wouldn't mind.
I wouldn't be too surprised. I would buy them, though, to be honest.
Have you guys all played the original trilogy of Uncharted?
Yep.
Yeah, I platinumed the first one. One of 2 platinum games I have.
So you'd be willing to go back and go through that full trilogy again in like Super HD?
Yeah, especially if they add more trophies.
Definitely sad, but I think we all agree. What do you think this does? I don't know. Do you think this is a chance for Xbox One sales to catch up? Does it matter anymore? Like if they already lost the public mindshare? Because Halo Guardians is coming out this fall.
Yeah, I say that.
Go on.
Oh, I say Microsoft has the new Halo coming out, and then they also have Tomb Raider coming out this year, which is going to be exclusive for a little bit. But so I feel like Sony just kind of lost their big push for the end of the year.
Yeah, what else does Sony have for this year, if anything?
Bloodborne?
Oh yeah, right. It's kind of like in a week or so.
Don't worry, they'll think of something.
Yeah.
Like another Little Big Planet.
Ooh.
3.5.
I mean, that's actually what I'm afraid of, that Sony is going to slam something that's not ready into the fall, so that way they can just say they still have a game.
Which I hope isn't the case, but it is concerning.
I could see them doing more with Call of Duty by the time fall comes around, because I'm pretty sure they had the lead in sales over Xbox for like the first time with Call of Duty, if I'm correct.
Man, Activision has been so in the Microsoft camp. I never even thought about that.
Yeah.
I mean, like, if you remember with Advanced Warfare, it was totally Sony giving them the go-ahead. Pretty sure they have, like, the first DLC, too, if I'm not mistaken. I don't know. I feel like that could be something that they would do to push for more PS4 buyers.
Yeah, I mean, that would be a huge boon. Like, if they could get the mind share of Call of Duty like they did Destiny this year. I mean...
Oh, yeah.
I mean, playing Destiny on an Xbox One is like being a second-class citizen, practically. Last bit of PlayStation news, kind of. Powers debuts, free for PlayStation Plus members. This is based off a comic book series by Brian Michael Bendis, where the main characters are cops in a world with superheroes. And my understanding is they themselves don't have powers, so it's kind of I honestly haven't had a chance to watch this yet. I don't know if anybody here has.
I watched the first episode.
How was it?
It was good. I actually enjoyed it. So, I think the first 3 episodes are up right now. So I'd like to get back to them, but...
Yeah, I was going to ask, are you going to keep watching it? Do you think it has staying power?
I'm not sure. I mean, it's really hokey. I mean, the effects are really, really bad, in my opinion. But the story is really good. So I'm personally going to try to finish watching through, but I think it should be interesting to start seeing reviews go up online and see what other people think of this.
Sounds good. Are you, Kenny or Alex, are you guys planning on watching it if you haven't already?
No.
So I have a PS3 but not a PS4, so maybe you can tell me, is it on PS3? And since I'm not a PS Plus member, how much would it be?
It is on PS3 because that's how I watched it. I think the first episode is free for anybody, but then the rest of the series you have to have PlayStation Plus for.
Oh, that makes sense. After a pretty desultory E3 presentation, I wasn't exactly interested. He went on for 15 minutes about powers.
That is true.
It was like Wonder Book Mark II.
Oh God, no.
There has to be a way to buy powers ad hoc. Maybe there isn't. I know, but you're absolutely right. The first episode's free at the very least.
Oh, that's good. Maybe I should seek it out.
All right. Moving on to kind of cross-platform. By that I just mean PlayStation and Microsoft. Nintendo's on its own little island. Rock Band 4 coming out. Okay, moving on. I don't play. I played Guitar Hero. I owned one, but I only owned one. I think it was number 2 or 3. I never got like super knee deep into the franchise. I know people who love it, but
yeah,
I'm terrible at rhythm games. Like I played trumpet in high school, but I cannot do rhythm games, so I don't even think about them.
Yeah, I'm saying.
So have all of us owned rhythm action games like those? The only one I have is Beatles Rock Band.
I mean, that's legit. I mean, that's definitely...
Yeah. I mean, I played Guitar Hero. I never got into Rock Band, and I don't know. I'm not really that excited for this, I guess. This isn't really anything that kind of interests me. But I guess you're being able to import all your track lists from all the old rock bands, which is kind of cool.
Except if you're on Wii U, you don't have that option.
That is true.
And that's one of the reasons why it's not coming to Wii U, so they said, was backwards compatibility problems. Because
yeah, I mean, that's a great point, guys.
The Nintendo Network ID did not exist on the Wii, so those tracks do not have an account to tie to.
Yeah.
Well, wouldn't it just be as simple as transferring your Wii data over your Wii U? Like breaking in the back of both consoles and hot wiring them together and...
I'm sure it's an ownership issue that doesn't exist on Xbox and PlayStation.
Yeah, but I mean, like, absolutely right about the transferability. I mean, Rock Band had, I can't remember, probably thousands of dollars of DLC.
Oh, I believe it.
If they made people rebuy that, it'd be disastrous. Moving on, Grand Theft Auto 5 introduced heists this week.
So, do any of you guys have Grand Theft Auto 5?
I don't.
Surprisingly,
I'd probably get in the future.
No, you either, Alex?
No, I don't.
Neither do I.
That's funny. Like, we might be the only 4 people who don't. 45 million copies.
I know.
Why play GTA 5 when you can play certain other games forever?
Like what?
Like the works of Nintendo, for instance. It came out fall 2013, and Pokemon X and Y was about to come out that same time. And I was quite pleased with those.
Good to have a Nintendo voice. Yeah, I played Diamond Pearl. I don't have a new 3DS, a 2DS, a new 3DS XL, a new 3D, or any of that. So I've kind of dropped off of my Nintendo. I left Grand Theft Auto at San Andreas, to be honest. Like, I never even played 4.
I've actually never played a single one of them.
Oh, man.
I know.
I've played them before, but I've only, I watched my dad play through the entirety of 4. It's quite the experience.
That is one of those games that you can just watch. Like, I had Vice City in the dorms, and, leave the door open, and people would just show up and, like, oh, what's going on? Oh, man, that's so cool. How high can you get those stars? Like, how many cops can you get chasing you?
It is a time
that's
sink.
fun.
I will completely say that game will totally take your time.
Yeah. One interesting thing to highlight about the heist is they are on the back of the box a year and a half ago, like 2013, like Alex said. The online infrastructure didn't work the first night for a lot of people, and for the most part, I know people are complaining, but nobody is like bitching like they would if this was any other company besides Rockstar.
That is
I think
true.
it's just because they already got it all out when it first didn't come out. I feel like they're just kind of happy to finally see that they're just over it now.
Yeah. I would just, like, if EA did this exact same scenario,
Oh, yeah.
I just feel like they'd be crucified.
They get worst company in America again. For some reason.
Do you think we'll hear about this when Battlefield Hardlines comes out?
Oh.
Like, do you think we'll hear,
About bad server performance, bad online,
Oh,
overcrowded, glitches abound?
I mean, EA said that supposedly Hardline should be better than Battlefield 4's problems.
I say, didn't Battlefield 3 launch with issues also?
I couldn't tell you.
it did. That's a great question. I think if I had to guess, it's gonna be a good launch. It's gonna be just as good as some of these other companies, like Rockstar. It's not gonna be perfect. And I'll be interesting to see what the fan reaction is to those those minor gripes. I don't think they'll have another Battlefield 4 on their hands.
That's good.
They delayed this game. This was supposed to be a fall game. I think they saw the writing on the wall. They had a kind of a long beta. I think that I want to believe they're smart enough not to do this again.
Yeah, I know some of the people who were playing the beta, and it seems like a lot of people have a lot of really good things to say about it. So it definitely does sound like they're doing the right thing with this one.
All right, moving on. Tales from the Borderlands Episode 2 is announced by Telltale. It comes out next week across all platforms. Go on.
No, I say I'm excited for this, but I'm gonna wait for them all to come out so I can play them all at once.
I've never done that. Have you done that for any of the previous Telltales?
Yep, that's what I did for both seasons of The Walking Dead.
Did you play Wolf Among Us like one at a time or anything?
I actually haven't played The Wolf Among Us yet. I need to pick that up soon.
I could go either way. I would just be curious to see if you did both, like if you had a preference for which way to go.
I feel like those games. What?
Oh, go on. Sorry.
Oh, I say I feel like they're best played back to back. I feel like the game would kind of lose something if you were to have to wait a month or two between each release.
I'm just scared of spoilers.
Yeah.
So I'd rather.
It's definitely hard to watch out for the spoilers for these games if you're waiting for all 5 at once.
I want to say it's better now. I think The Walking Dead, a lot of people were playing each episode as it came out, but now that, this is their 5th go at it, there are people like you who do wait until they're all out.
Yeah. I also want to play the Game of Thrones one also. So
I haven't started that one. It's the only one I haven't played yet. I was thinking about trying the season approach for it. Right? Kind of a cross-platform is going to be, but kind of coming as a surprise. Game Freak, who you'll recognize from Pokemon, and Sega have teamed up to make Tembo the Badass Elephant.
Did you guys watch the trailer for that?
Yeah, I actually did see that.
It looks so weird.
Yeah, it's one of the few games that I think I'll wait for reviews before I really decide on it. Because I don't usually wait for reviews on most games, but it's just that kind of game where it's like I don't really see the appeal in it yet, just from the trailer. It's kind of depending on people's opinions.
Yeah, I mean, I think waiting for the review is going to be a good idea because last time I decided to just buy a weird-looking game without really looking into it was Octodad, and I ended up hating that. So I don't think this is going to be on the same level as Octodad, but...
Oh, I trust Game Freak. I trust them with my life if I had to. The only disappointing thing is that it's not coming to Wii U.
Has Game Freak made a game outside of Pokemon?
Oh yeah, they started out making games that weren't Pokemon. They used those games to finance Pokemon. The last original game they did was Harmonite on 3DS.
Rhythm game.
At least the games that we got. They also made a solitaire horse racing game that came out in Japan only.
That sounds awesome.
This is their first time they've worked with Sega since a long time ago.
Yeah, they had two projects with Sega before. Pulseman.
Yep.
And something really Japanese. I can't remember its title. I'm sure somebody's listening, screaming at us right now. Yeah, I think like the most surprising thing is it's not coming to Nintendo. And I wonder if this will have any impact, if Nintendo will be hurt, or if they'll just rub it off, not even care.
Oh, I have a theory for why it's not coming to Nintendo.
Okay.
So you see, Nintendo doesn't actually, own Game Freak. They have a certain percentage in Game Freak thanks to their connection to the Pokemon Company. And Sega, in this case, is the publisher. So I think Sega's the one who made the call on what platforms it goes to. And since they don't like the Wii U anyway, it was an easy decision for them, probably.
Sounds good. I didn't know Sega didn't like the Wii U.
Well, I think that the poor performance of Sonic Boom Rise of Lyric isn't a testament to that.
I mean, I think Sega's getting their cause and effect wrong. I don't think it's the Wii U's fault that Sonic Boom didn't do well.
Definitely not the Wii U's fault.
It's the worst selling Sonic game to date.
The worst Sonic game to date.
Well, the director, James Turner, actually said that they have no other platforms to announce at this time. Never say never.
Yeah, I mean, kind of reverse story. Shovel Knight came to Nintendo first and is now everywhere.
Yep.
Is it coming to Xbox?
Yep.
Yes, with the Battletoads DLC, right?
Oh, that's right. They announced that at GDC.
We announced that last week. You just proved you don't listen to the show, Alex.
1 episodes.
No, and I don't blame you. Especially if you had a mono speaker, it was apparently just me talking.
By the way, I looked up the other Sega game that Game Freak did with them long ago. It was called Magical Talu Luto.
See, I was right. It was Japanese. last bit of like cross-platform news. Titanfall 2 announced for basically all next-gen consoles, current-gen consoles, Xbox One, PS4, and PC.
I was so happy about that.
Me too.
Because I've been dying to play it because my cousins absolutely love it, and they just had to play it on PC. I was like, I don't really care enough to play it on PC, but I'm like, they mentioned that they could put it on PS4 for the next one, and now that's on PS4, I'm just super excited for it.
Yeah, I'm like in the exact same camp, because when I first saw like the first trailer for it, I was like, this looks awesome, and it's like it's only on Xbox One and 360 and PC, and I'm like, well, I'm not playing it then.
Yeah, same way.
Yeah, and I know Titanfall kind of got some mixed results when it came out, actually, but I really, and maybe it's just hopeful, I really think this is going to be the Assassin's Creed of this generation.
Really?
Like not annual franchise, but like first release comes out, kind of mixed results, and then sequel comes out, and everybody's like, holy shit, this is legit. And like I hope that they really learn from their lessons and create a fine-tuned experience. Yeah, I didn't mean to compare it to Assassin's Creed and say they're gonna run it into the ground.
That's what I thought at first.
See, Order 1886 is also like the Assassin's Creed of this generation.
Did
We'll fix the next one.
Oh yeah, definitely.
If there is a next one.
I think we'll find out soon. Like I think NPD numbers come out sometime this week or next week for February.
It came out today, actually.
Damn it. That's embarrassing. Do you know how well the Order did by any chance?
I don't know how software did off the top of my head, but I can tell you that the 3DS was the best-selling platform that month.
That was the one thing I could have given as well.
I'm looking up NPD right now just to double-check. And the Order 1886 was the 9th bestseller.
That is bad.
Yeah.
NBA 2K15 is above it.
Yeah, that 9th best on its debut month. It is not. I doubt it's getting a sequel. And I think I touched on this last week. I played The Order. It's not a good game. It is very choppy, and I do think some people are a little harsh on it. But to be honest, I only finished it because it was 6 hours. Like if it was 20, I would have just quit.
Yeah, probably should have been launched. It just kind of feels like a launch title based on everything I've seen. Like it really shows off the graphics of the system. It's kind of short. Yeah. It just feels like it should have been launch.
So I kind of want to know how Sony feels about this now, because they were marketing the crap out of this game like it was going to be like the next coming of Christ or something, and it wasn't.
Next coming of Drake.
I mean, I'm sure Sony has hat in hand. You're absolutely right. Like with that marketing budget, I don't even know. I don't even know if they made their marketing budget back, quite frankly. Let alone development costs.
Yeah.
Going through MPD numbers just really quick. Majora's Mask number 1, great for Nintendo. Evolve number 2, higher than I expected it. Dying Light, still strong at number 3. That game's doing really well. And then, nothing too exciting. Call of Duty, Grand Theft Auto, MBK 215. But then Dragon Ball Xenoverse actually charted. Which, I don't know. I guess I'm just surprised. I just figured those games were just steady eddies. They didn't necessarily do great, but they sold enough to recoup costs just based off their name.
I
Yeah.
felt like it came out of nowhere. Like I had no idea about it, and that just kind of came out. I'm like, oh, I guess that's out. And apparently people bought it.
And this is like what, the 100th Dragon Ball Z game?
No.
Yeah.
Really? Oh my, that's insane. Because I mean, that's like 2+ a year.
I mean, there's been a ton of those.
That's crazy. Yeah, there's been a crap ton of reviews on my IGN from users.
I noticed that.
Alright, moving on to kind of some Microsoft news. Keeping up with Titanfall. Titanfall Season Pass, free. So I hope you never paid for that DLC if you got the game, because it's now free. And maybe this was all planned for the Titanfall 2, but I don't know if I've ever seen this happen before.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's going to be interesting because I know a lot of people bought that season pass, and now it's all going free. It's like I feel like a lot of people are going to get angry about this, and it should be interesting to see how they take a stance on this.
I mean, I think it's just buyer beware. Like, you know, if you bought the season pass a week ago, maybe you should have a leg to stand on. But if you bought it when the game came out a year ago, I mean, I don't know. I mean, this happens. I mean, we deal with it with PlayStation Plus every month.
It is true.
And keeping the free train going, Dragon Age Inquisition on Xbox One is free through the weekend. Which
That's cool.
Agreed. Like, I think it's really cool because, I mean, you know, in theory, if you were a closet hermit gamer, they gave you enough time to beat that game. And I've never seen a free game like on a timed exclusive like this. Like a real time.
I can't think of one.
I definitely commend Microsoft. I mean, they're definitely. I don't know how well this is marketed. I don't know if this is going to get new people with Xbox One controllers in their hand, but I think it's great fan service, and I think they're trying.
Well, then this would be my question for you. Do you think they're going to continue doing this every now and then, putting out a full game for free for a weekend?
I don't know. I mean, I guess, you know, it's kind of a cop-out answer. I guess it depends on how well this one does. How EA feels about it.
I mean, I know they do it on Steam all the time. But
I feel like I could see them going like the PS Plus route where it starts off like really good, but then they just end up giving us like big indie or like small indie games, like arcade games, or kind of flew under the radar.
Yeah, I mean, you know, you're absolutely right that all this, you know, some of it kind of degrades over time. Alright. I think we're going straight into Alex's wheelhouse. We're going into Nintendo. For Wii U, Freedom Planet got announced, a new indie platformer.
I haven't seen it yet.
no, neither have I.
Yeah, I hadn't even heard of it.
Same like how people didn't hear of Tokitori 2, which we found out today from the creators that it didn't sell well.
That was just today that we found that out? I thought that was a while back. I don't know, maybe I'm wrong.
But yeah, I haven't heard of this game, unfortunately. It's not quite my wheelhouse, Freedom Planet.
So I just looked it up right now. It looks like it's kind of like Sonic.
Yeah,
Nintendo's definitely been getting better at advertising the indie games on their platforms. I definitely see a lot more coverage on them as of recently.
Yeah, I mean, it's definitely a Sonic clone. It looks like it has the same, like, weird springs, like in Sonic.
Yep.
It originally released on PC last year, and it's coming to Wii U. It doesn't officially say, but I guess, I would assume this year. If they're already talking about a game of this size, typically they don't announce them a year plus in advance. Alright. Another Nintendo news. I should have read my own docket. Nintendo pushing Splatoon.
Yeah, they sure did.
Yeah.
They pushed the heck out of that game.
Do they have a release date for that game yet, even?
May.
I know it's summer.
They're looking at May.
Oh, really?
The rumor is it's going to be the last week of May. It'll be a nice 1-year anniversary present after Mario Kart 8.
Do you think that this has a chance of being a good seller, like, without a Mario name attached to it?
Here's a chance.
It will have Amiibo support, so they already have the Amiibo market locked down.
Yeah.
Are you an Amiibro?
I am an Amiibo. I have every single figure.
Oh.
Wow.
I have like 8. Well, 7. I'm waiting for the 8th one.
I'm one of those guys who got Marth and Wii Fit Trainer on day 1.
So you're like
that's the only day to
dedicated
get
to
it.
this.
I had a hunch.
Do you have them still in their containers, or did you take them out?
The rare ones I leave in their box. Everybody else I take out and use.
Now, are you, not to get out too much off track, but are you so dedicated to this? Are you gonna get the multiple poses?
We'll see. It depends on how Splatoon uses Amiibo. And for the Mario Party series, the only one I'm interested in are Golden Mario and Toad.
Did you get those?
So, Toad, but Gold Mario I have to stand in line for. As for Splatoon, I think that its success in the West will depend heavily on its multiplayer component. We are a very online multiplayer kind of a nation.
That is true.
Less so in Japan, where the Wii U's not really doing that well there.
I feel like as long as it's not Smash Bros, I think the online will be good.
It'd be a shame for the online play in Splatoon, which is a very team-based kind of multiplayer game, to not have voice chat.
Yeah, I don't care. I don't use voice chat at all. All I use is Skype, so honestly I never cared about voice chat in games. I don't want to talk to
Splatoon is a game that requires coordination between players.
That's
So
true.
how will players get to communicate if they have nothing to communicate with? We'll see. We have 2 months.
Yeah.
Alright. And then, do you like the Xeno Chronicles X battle theme?
I haven't listened to it, actually.
It's been kind of controversial. That's kind of that's why it's there. I guess it's been controversial.
What's
because
the controversy?
It's lyrical, and the website I read it on, they described it as Linkin Park-ish, and it's kind of like rap, in more of a chorus towards the end. I personally quite liked it. I thought it was well done, but there's I'd say it's probably about a 2/3 of people like it. A third of people that are not fans of it, just based on what I've seen.
Monolith Soft is influenced by Linkin Park. That's interesting.
Yeah.
I listened to it, but I'm kind of impartial to it.
It reminds me of Persona songs with the lyrics.
I liked the Persona 4 Golden intro.
Xenoblade Chronicles X comes out in April in Japan. Probably comes out in the fall here, so we have plenty of time to work ourselves up into a frenzy over this song.
I might pick on the Wii U, but it legitimately has more releases coming out this year that I'm slightly interested in than any other console.
Oh yeah, for sure. But no one, sadly. I will. I'll pick up all the games.
Last bit of gaming news for PC. Hearthstone released plans for the next expansion. This is Black Rock Mountain. If anybody ever played, it's going to be a lot like the Naxxramas, where it's going to have multiple wings. It's just going to be a single player adventure, and you beat computer controlled decks that are completely cheated and broken and unfair. And then when you beat them, you end up getting new cards. So I play Hearthstone. I think this is good. I think that Blizzard's doing a good job supporting it. I know some people kind of scoff at the price, but I mean, you could still buy all this with in-game gold.
That's cool.
I like how you do that.
So
That's it. I don't think I ever really got into Hearthstone. I think I played one match of it.
It's understandable. I think it's it's probably the most frustrating game that I continue to play. I'll lose on it's maybe I'm not that good, but there are definitely a lot of times when it just comes down to chance. When it's destroy a random enemy, and it just happens to destroy the one that's most important to my side, or whatever. So I can understand. It's definitely a game not for everybody.
Yeah.
So wrapping up, what games are for you? What games have you played lately, Zach?
Well, I'm still playing Ni no Kuni. Still going after that platinum trophy. I'm on the last little grind right now, just making all these items and stuff. Literally feeling like I should just pull my hair out and call it quits. But one trophy away from a platinum on that, so I'm going to keep sticking through it. But I also started Counter Spy from PlayStation Plus.
How do you like that?
It's weird, but I like it.
I went through, and I got to the final mission.
Mm-hmm.
And that was the first time that I actually let the death counter hit 0. And there's a bunch of trophies if you can go through without ever having that happen. And I was like, son of a, I have to do a whole playthrough all over again? I don't know if I enjoyed it that much. I never felt like I was good at the game, and it really frustrated me the most once you reach a level where you can't headshot guys, even from behind.
I don't know. I feel like some of the levels are I feel like it's really easy to go through without getting spotted if you know what you're doing. But at the same time, some of the stuff I've noticed some things where I'll also be hiding behind cover, and then the guards will notice me even though I'm not doing anything. But
yeah, I agree. I think I'll give it another shot. What have you been playing this past week or so, Alex?
I've been playing many things. I play lots of Pokemon. I've surprisingly been playing Pokemon Shuffle, the free-to-play game on 3DS. I play Smash Brothers, Majora's Mask 3D. I started Monster Hunter 4 Ultimate on Monday. And last weekend I was playing Mass Effect and Banjo-Kazooie.
Jeez.
We should play Monster Hunter.
Man.
I play a wide variety of games.
I mean, that could be a great question, but I typically stick with one game and try and beat it and then move on to the next. Maybe I'll have a console and a handheld game that I'm juggling, but that's typically about it.
No, I'm the same way.
What about you, Kenny?
I kind of I feel like my biggest problem is I get a new game, I just stop playing the last one, and I just play the new one, but then I eventually stop that and just wait for the next game. I kind of have a problem where I haven't been finishing my games.
The cult of the new, the backlog.
Yeah, my backlog is not very friendly.
Is there anything that you want to call out from your monster pile, Alex?
Call out?
Like that you're enjoying most, or...
Oh, yeah. I like trying to catch them all in Pokemon. Alpha Sapphire specifically.
Did you catch them all in X and Y?
Still working on it.
Oof.
But it's easier than ever because we hardcore Pokemaniacs have things like Pokemon Bank and backwards compatibility to fill out those spots.
Yeah. I think I have all, 719 now?
721.
Well, yeah, if you count the ones that aren't out yet. Yeah, I've got all 719 so far.
God bless you guys. I did it for first gen, and I couldn't stomach to do it again.
Yep.
But the first time I did catch them all was the latest gen. So I waited all the way until there were the most ever at the time to get them all.
What have you been playing, Kenny?
I played a little bit of Monster Hunter. I haven't had too much time this week, but mostly I've been messing around with Mugen. If you don't know what that is, it's a free downloadable PC game or fighting game where you can play as basically anyone. Anyone you want to, ever, as long as you can either make a character or there's a huge community that makes characters, stages, music. That you can basically put anything in the game. And you can have any two characters from anything fight each other.
I think I've seen this. It's built off what looks like the Marvel vs. Capcom 2 engine, right?
I'm not sure.
Oh, sorry. But yeah, I think I've seen this like Green Lantern fighting Batman, fighting Cyclops.
Yeah, it's been pretty fun to mess around with.
That actually sounds pretty cool.
You gonna try and create anything, or are you just downloading packs?
Mostly I've just downloaded some characters. I haven't really thought about making anything, but I might try in the future.
All right. As for me, I started playing Valiant Hearts. Like I said, I've just got Counter Spy, like I said, and then I also tried Valiant Hearts. Not for me.
Not for you.
I think I struggled with some of those earlier puzzles for whatever reason, and once I started getting the hang of it, I was just like, it's a good story, but it's not a fun game. So I just set it down after probably an hour or so.
Yeah, I mean, I definitely don't think it's for everybody. I mean, I loved it, but I know a lot of people didn't, so yeah.
I almost want to say it's more of an adventure game than what Telltale's creating now, though. Like, it kind of has that, weird puzzle mechanics every now and then. Find this item, try and do this, all this interactive puzzle.
Yeah.
So. Alright. Lastly, topic of the week. When do you guys buy games? Do you buy them new, used, wait for collections, combination? How do you make a determination when you pick up a game?
Well, depends on what kind of game it is that I want to play. If it's a game I must play, like Majora's Mask 3D, I get it right as it launches. But if it's a game I'm not so sure about, or if I'm not ready to spend the $60, I tend to wait.
Yeah, I mean, I rarely buy games new nowadays, just because now that I'm older, my money has to go to other more important things. But, I don't know, usually I'll buy games used, or I'll just wait for sales off, the PlayStation Store. But a lot of it is, both having PlayStation Plus, I just don't buy that many games anymore. Because if I wait long enough, everything comes to it eventually.
I've been waiting for Journey to come to it forever, so that strategy's not been working out. What about you, Kenny?
I usually buy them new, and I usually do enough research so I don't have to look at reviews.
Yeah, I think at this point in my life, for whatever reason, nobody ever knows what to get me for my birthday, which is in May, and then or Christmas. So I end up just like asking my wife or my parents or like whoever for games or PSN cards or whatever. So I have those 2 tentpoles of the year. So I pretty much just get games like around that time, whether they're like new or slightly older, like 4 or 5 months.
Yeah.
And I also have PlayStation Plus, so I only want like 2 or 3 games a year, so it pretty much keeps me covered.
Yeah, so like, I think last year I only bought like 1 game.
God, last year. So last year PS4 just came out. So I got Watch Dogs, Minecraft for PS4, Destiny, Far Cry 4, and Dragon Age. I think that was it.
I think I bought Infamous Second Son and then The Last of Us Remastered, and that was it.
Both solid entries.
Yep.
Kenny or Alex, can you even? It sounds like you guys pick up a lot more. Like, what would like your ballpark figure be for last year? You think?
Somewhere in the 20s, maybe.
Holy cow!
My goal in the last year has been to par down the number of games I get, but there will always be marquee titles, particularly Nintendo, that I pick up. Last year it was things like Bravely Default. I got older games like A Link Between Worlds and Donkey Kong Country Returns 3D. I picked up Mario Kart, Smash Brothers, both versions of course, Pokemon, both versions, and a heck of a lot of download games. I did. Well, and also I tend to play games slower than a lot of other people. Last year is when I played The Last of Us for the first time, and I got in it the year before.
Yeah, I mean, when you're picking up 20 games at a time, I could definitely see taking a bit to get to some of them.
Mm-hmm. I do things outside of just play games.
What? No, that's...
That's against this lifestyle.
That's a different podcast entirely.
Alright, anything else? Alright. You can catch this episode, which you're already listening to, so I don't really know why podcasts do this, on iTunes or YouTube or my IGN or NerdyXP. If you liked what we said, which I hope you did, you stuck around for a little bit, you can hear more from me. I'm Chris. You can follow me on Twitter at NerdyXP, which is also my name on my IGN if you're catching us there. Or I have a site where I write features, which is honestly going to start slowing down. I started doing some freelance work for Game Rant, so I'm trying to put out a news story or two a day on that side, so it's kind of taken away from my personal fun writing. You can follow Zack.
Yeah, you can follow me on my IGN or at Twitter it was just at Zeber, which is Z_Burr.
You can follow Kenny.
I'm Volkire at IGN and Lord Volkire on Twitter.
Give yourself a promotion for that Twitter. Well, you went from Valkyrie to Lord, so it seems like you gave yourself.
No, it's more of a demotion because I couldn't get the name Valkyrie on Twitter.
I don't know if I would say Lord is a demotion though.
I know, but I just prefer the one word name.
Gotcha.
And you can follow Alex.
Oh, I'm at IGN, my IGN on Cartoonami and Twitter at AlexIRESQ.
All right.
So short for Alex Irish IR Esquire.
Oh, I didn't put that together. Well, thank you, Zach.
No problem.
Thank you, Kenny.
Mm-hmm.
And thank you, Alex.
Mm-hmm.
And thank you guys for listening. I hoped we answered your questions, gave you some insight, and level up your game IQ.